everybody? Happy Tuesday or Monday night if you are tuning in right away to our first Listen to Your Heart recap, Bachelor style. I gotta say, I think this show is gonna be a hit. It's classic Bachelor with the music element, and we have a rock star first guest, Nikki Glaser, to help us recap. It's a lot of fun. I mean, the episode has some fun turns. We end up talking about masturbation and quarantine as well, which is almost fitting for the times that we're in, as well as our thoughts and opinions on this new show, Listen to Your Heart. Wouldn't you say, Rochelle?
Yep.
By the way, yeah, Rochelle's here.
Listen to your heart.
Anyways, hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed this recap, and we will be with you tomorrow with our guest, Jason Tardik. And without further ado, let's get right to the episode. Nikki Glaser, thank you so much for joining us for our world premiere Listen to Your Heart recap.
Thank you for having me.
I couldn't think of a better person to have kick this off for me.
When you asked me, I had no idea what the heck you were talking about. You were like, hey, want to do a show about Listen to Your Heart? And I just would know what that was. I had no idea. I can't believe I didn't know what it was because it's so good. It's such a good idea.
Yeah.
The concept is so stupid. And then you go, actually, this is brilliant.
No, it's so initial thoughts. You're pleasantly surprised. Safe to say.
Yeah, I actually like it, and I'm invested. And I know that a show that's built off the premise of you could end up being in A Star Is Born too. Your husband can kill himself. Like that's kind of the whole like you could have that. Their love. Like they really say that. They literally say that. They're like, you can be A Star Is Born. It's like, did you guys finish that movie?
Did they? Ironically, I have not seen the end. I heard about it, but
no, did I just spoil it for you? I'm sorry.
No,
if you haven't seen it yet,
yeah, I get
that's
it.
what happens.
It's the like 4th remake, okay? You're allowed to spoil
Yes,
it.
okay. I don't know
get
if
it.
that's true, but
He dies, but yeah, I was a little confused by the Star Is Born angle, which is like they really hung their hat on that. Like,
and they also said like you could be like amazing collaborative couples like Paul Simon and Edie Brickell, and it's like they're divorced.
Jay-Z and Beyonce though. Like I love how also on the other Bachelor shows when they are you know now when they have like on Paradise, it's always like, especially, you can have the Jade and Tanner love story or the Ashley and Jared. And they're like, fuck that. We're going way beyond Bachelor alum rejects. No. We're going with some of the biggest stars and icons that, we have to offer. They're really shooting high.
Though, because they're appealing to these kids' sense of like, I'm a star. That's what we're getting with this show is like, we're getting American Idol and The Bachelor. It's like a perfect combination because these kids are like, talented, like some of them are really good. So like
some of them
they
really
wanna,
are, yeah.
Like, and then you question: are they trying to be in this for their career, or are they like which is always the question with any of this? But it's a little bit more.
Really loved how it kicked off, and Chris is doing his job, but he just is like, well, they're here first and foremost for true love, for love. But like a distant second, like if they make it big, then they'll take that, and listen, I'm not surprised that I liked the first episode. At the end of the day, it's the Bachelor franchise. They are experts at what they do. They've been doing it for how many years now, and they're the playbook works, right? Like ultimately what it is it's paradise, right? It's basically paradise with cast people
talent.
that you're not familiar with. So there's the negative impact of the negative side is like it was fun to like see people return and like add to their story of what you saw and then other Bachelor Bachelorette. But now you take that away, but then you add this idea of like the music. It's kind of funny because like what's so good about reality TV sometimes is how serious people take themselves, the cast people, in terms of like their earnestness about whatever it is they are talking about. And their earnestness about like their music career is kind of hysterical.
Well, that's what musicians are. They're so earnest, and these people are all very young too, so they're naive, and they're on this TV show, and you think like, I'm gonna make it. Like, this is they really believe that, and they don't know that no one's ever gonna remember who any of them are in a year.
Maybe one. I'm really curious.
I mean, do you know any of the winners of The Voice? Voice.
I've never seen The Voice, but
right. But like most people, it's just like
it's not what American Idol used to be. That's for sure.
Yes, it's just I think these people they take their career so seriously because they have to. They're like that young, naive, like. But sometimes that works. There's always the story of when that works. But like you have to believe in yourself so blindly to like be a musician. But most of them are like genuinely very talented.
Yeah, no,
I actually saw Rudi.
Rudi was good.
Yeah, in LA, there's all these like backyard shows, and it was like a comedy show with music. And I saw her, and I was like, "Oh my god, this girl is amazing!" And I like followed her on Instagram.
No,
and
that's
She's
amazing. That girl, she immediately, you're just like, "Yep, she's got it." And like, I love Rudi. Rudi,
Yeah.
I really am pulling for
Rudi.
Rudi.
Which one's
She's the
Rudi?
one that called that guy out.
Rudi
is
Rudi?
not pick me.
Rudi?
Yeah, good for her.
Really? She went
Matt.
she went crazy on the guy.
I loved it. Him playing dumb, like he didn't know what he did and what he said. You know what? All he would have had to do in that moment is go, you know what? That was really shitty of me. I absolutely did do that. I told you one thing. I meant another. And that must have been so humiliating for you to sit there and watch me ask her out. And to be honest with you, I didn't have as much fun with her. I made the wrong choice. And that girl would have been like, okay, great. But he was so stubborn. He was such an asshole. He was playing like dumb. He was gaslighting her. Like, you heard something that I didn't say. And it's like, well, roll the tape. I wish they would have rolled the tape.
Yeah, you never really know. All right, so let's maybe this is a great place to just kind of run through some of our favorite cast people. It's funny because they have they have, is it 10 each? Is it 20 total? Because like they really like, even to the first episode, they basically ignored half the cast right off the bat.
They did, but it was eight women, 12.
Wait, yeah, that's right. 12 guys, 8 women.
So 4 went home, and by the end you had seen everyone. You felt like you got to know everyone a little bit, but then it's going to be interesting. You're going to get to know there's some women you didn't get to know at all, and they're going to be in it for a while.
That's what I said. This is paradise because as you saw the preview, they'll bring people.
They're bringing more in for sure. It's the same.
They'll shake it up.
Structure.
Yeah, right.
But they didn't do any like packages in the beginning of like, this guy's living his normal life before the show. You know,
they did a few. It was
they
more
did
like
a little bit. I think they'll do more. I think they'll like. I think they did a good job of like revealing people and being like, oh wait, who's that? Oh, we're definitely get to know them, and it just yeah, I'm excited. Nick, I was dying. Like, I was watching it with my dad and mom, and I'm like, who would you guys have gone for night one? Like, who would have been your first impression, Rose? Dying to know who's Nick Viall would have gone after.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Come on, you gotta know.
I didn't really have a favorite, I guess.
That's no fun. If you were on that show and you had to pick a girl to sing with and like ask on a first date, who would you have been? Who would you have been flirting with all night?
I mean, listen, Jamie is like traditionally like my type physically. I mean,
is she the one that went on the 2 dates?
Yeah, I mean, she's only 21 though. Like,
oh yeah, I know she's 21,
and she's gonna be the star of the show. Prediction there.
Yeah, she's
so
great.
I guess Jamie. I mean, she's traditionally kind of basic hot.
And she was the one that was juggling the 2 hottest guys. Yeah, so she was probably the hottest lady there. I thought Savannah was going to come in and clean up, but she's kind of hanging back, just like, I don't know who she's going to end up with.
Which one's Savannah?
She's the blonde yoga.
Oh, yeah. Savannah, yeah, she's got nice eyes. I thought she's going to come in and shake it up, and she still might, but she mellowed out in the first episode.
Exactly. I thought she was going to be the villain.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Do they have villains? Like it'll be interesting how they do. I'm also curious to see is like other, I don't know if The Voice does this, but I know American Idol did this in the past. Like, is there like a prize to be won? Like they've teased this contest. Is there like a music contract at the end of this show? Like, is it
I'm sure
just
they're
about
going to open the tour? They'll be the opening act at the Bachelor tour.
Oh yeah,
sure, but that's that's not a prize. I mean, that's nice. Like,
yeah, unless they said it, I mean, I don't remember hearing if there was a prize. Wouldn't they say that already?
You would think. It's also interesting too because, like, you know, we've talked about this before, even for myself. It's like The Bachelor going on The Bachelor is this double-edged sword of instant fame and social media presence. And if this show takes off, these people will their social followings will blow up. But then there's also this kind of like, yeah, but you're from the Bachelor franchise. This kind of, especially when you, and so I got to assume musically, it not being like a music show, like for all the jokes we made about Jed or like Luke Pell in the past, where people come on and are like, yeah, I play music. It's like, well, why didn't you go on a singing show if you wanted to be a singer? And it'll be interesting to see how this like propels or hurts these people's music careers. Well, guys, you are obviously staying inside. At least we hope you are being safe. And you want to make sure that the air you're breathing inside your home is healthy and clean and smelling great. And there's no better way to do that than diffusing 100% USDA organic essential oils from Natural Habits. We specialize in blends. We have our Protect, Center, Release, and Rise blend that have some great medicinal benefits, like helping you relax. They can help with headaches. They can support your immune system as well, give you a boost of energy. Make sure to check us out at nhoils.com. That is nhoils.com, or follow us on Instagram. Right now, we'll be doing 30% off with code NATURAL. So check it out. Free shipping. They also come in a roll-on format if you just want to just quickly apply it right to your skin. But again, especially during these times of making sure that your indoor air is scented and wonderful and not full of toxins like Glade air fresheners or plug-ins or things like that. Much healthier option, even more healthier than candles, which also have a lot of carcinogens and other toxins that you should not be breathing. So check us out, nhoils.com, 30% off, code NATURAL. You will love them.
Yeah, I definitely think that, musicians are going to not take these people seriously because they're on the show, but it's undeniable who's good. Who's good will emerge and people will listen. But I think it's actually an easier way to get to know an artist because it doesn't seem like it's based on their talent at all. They're not being eliminated each week because they're not good enough and they didn't sing good enough that week. So I think
it's still all about love. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll eventually, if you end up seeing someone on the show that you're like, I actually like them, like I'll follow them. I'll follow up on, I'll probably be, listening to Rudi. She was great.
So who are your favorites for the show?
I like, God, it's hard. I mean, I know who I don't like. That's so much more fun.
All right. Who don't you like?
I like Jamie. I really do like Jamie. I think she's so sweet. I like Trevor a lot. I love Rudi. I think she is a firecracker and a talent. I like, I like both.
The one that went on the date with Rudi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki hates Ryan.
Ryan, I liked him at first, and I think he has potential. But the thing about Ryan is that he just needed to own up in that moment instead of being like, whoa, I got chewed out. Whoa, she came after me.
Ryan's the Johnny Depp, Edward Scissorhands guy.
Ryan is the love child of Bill Hader and Shawn Mendes.
Oh, Ryan, I don't even know his name because he's so boring. He's so cute. Hey, when he's playing piano, I'm like, okay, I get it. He looks hot when he's like playing an instrument because he's like a really good musician, undeniably. But I think he is just like vacant. I thought all of his conversations with Jamie were completely he didn't seem interested in her at all. She was like kind of gaga because he's hot. I was calling him Jan Mendes. Because he was so freaking boring. He's adorable, but he's boring and maybe gay. Like I'm getting
I got there were some vibes,
which is
there,
fine.
maybe,
I'm not
totally
saying
fine.
that's like a bad thing, but
I don't know, but
he didn't strike me as being like into her at all.
If you're, but not non-traditionally, music people, artists more in touch maybe with their side, and they're not.
And maybe he's bi. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying.
Or he could just be. He just could have feminine mannerisms.
I think I was surprised when he was like, "I'm into her," because I was like, "Your body language doesn't say it.
Yeah.
You're the way you're reacting to her questions and her like." She was like, "And the gaga," and he was just kind of like.
Let's
and
sing.
then I'm going to touch your lower back because that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, I felt for him, but then he got on that piano and fucking brought down the house.
Also, when he the John Mayer Gravity song, not easy to do.
Oh, man.
And he killed that.
He killed it.
Yeah.
He really killed it. And I didn't see what she was talking about, which was he was there for me. He really helped me through it. Like, I'm glad she felt that way, but I didn't see him being that.
I'm not a music person. Maybe Rochelle can help, but it sounds.
He changed the key.
Yeah. So
I get that, but that's very easy to do.
It's not that easy. You have to know how to do it.
Okay,
Nikki,
but if you're a musician, it's easy to do.
Nikki, we're talking about The Bachelor here, right? Where people are just finding validation. And so even on The Bachelor show, it's just he didn't walk ahead of me. That he
Yes,
loves
that's how
me.
simple that was. Yeah,
you know.
she's like, he changed the key of the song to. It's everyone knows how to do that. That plays that he should know how to do that.
Yeah.
And the song, in order to succeed, you needed It just didn't seem like this putting his coat down in a puddle moment for me. But I'm not a musician. You're right.
But Jamie's 21. I mean, when she's just this has literally been the best day of my life. She meant it because
she's really genuine.
I actually, I won't tease who she's with because that's a kind of a spoiler, but I live in Venice, California, and I was going on a run, and I got a text message from one of the producers saying did I just see you running? I'm like, yeah, are you spying on me? They're like, no, come turn around, run back. And they were shooting Listen to Your Heart. And it was a date that Jamie was on with someone I won't tease. And she was just starry-eyed and just losing her mind. She's just like a kid at a candy store.
Oh, I'm excited for her. Yeah, I mean, these people are young, and I see so much of myself in Rudi and even Jamie of just being gaga over a guy after one interaction.
Well,
and one interaction when he's giving you nothing, nothing. And you're just he's just hot. But there's one girl that came in that was listen, it's Savannah, who's hot guys, I can't deal. It's never what it seems. You want it to be something, and she's she's going after that weird magician guy. That's
God, that was so awful.
That guy
is that the who? Wait, what's his name? The super Michael Todd, the super
the one
weird
that came
guy?
in hot. And
The
by
guy
hot,
with
I mean obnoxious.
with the brown leather jacket and the black T-shirt.
Yes, that's what he. The one that was beatboxing
I like your lips.
and just
Yeah,
performing.
that's
I
Michael.
like your lips.
Yeah.
I like your lips was so weird.
Yeah, first of all, right off the bat, do not wear a brown leather jacket with all black. It's just
He
a
doesn't
weird,
know, Nick. He thinks it's cool.
just weird. He was so outrageous that I know he wasn't because they don't, but where do they
seems
find
like
these
someone
people?
yeah, I know.
Like a plant. Where do they find them? Where do they find these people to be so outrageously awkward?
I know.
and
We're
obnoxious?
fortunate enough to not know anyone like that in our personal lives, but they are out there, I guess.
Let's talk about Matt.
But they ended up liking him. I think he's actually kind of he came off terrible, but I think in the end everyone's wait, did he get eliminated? Obnoxious guy?
No, he did. He did.
Yeah, we won't see him again. But in the end, I think everyone was kind of oh, he's all right. Yeah, I just what's the guy's name that lied to Rudi?
Matt. Let's talk about Matt because I think
Matt.
Matt's the guy. It's funny because I couldn't I'm watching it and I honestly was just why does this guy look familiar to me? I couldn't tell if I've actually met him or he just looked like every other fucking wannabe hipster guy that in every city who's has this ironic mohawk, faux hawk kind of thing, and he dresses like a hipster but pumps a lot of iron and I don't know. Like he just,
I thought
couldn't.
he seemed genuine in the hot tub with Rudi. I was like, I like this guy. I bet, because at first I was like, he's not my type. I'm always going into these being like, who would I want to bang, or like, who would I eventually want to like make out with in the hot tub? And at first I was like, not him at all. And then when he was in the hot tub with her, I was like, I liked his moves. He was like,
You like we should like so this moves fast. So like, how do you feel about like he just
where he
you
goes,
like
he goes,
that.
what
Okay.
if we're like, what if our kiss isn't good? Like I loved that. It's like, okay, now let's that's a great move. It's like addressing the elephant in the room, which is, and then she was just like, no. And it's like, well, come on, kiss him. Like, what's the harm? I thought she should have kissed him, but I'm glad she didn't, because then he rejected it. He's ended up being not good.
Yeah, there were definitely moments like Matt was the most hard for me to.
Wait, I gotta ask
Tackle?
you about that kiss. Okay, as someone that's been on dates on a show where you
Which kiss?
might like the kiss in the hot tub, just kisses in general on these reality shows.
Okay.
As someone who's been in that position before, like, and you're gonna make a first move, like, are the stakes so much higher because you might get rejected, or do you usually only go in when you're like 100% sure, and like you might get rejected and it will be caught on camera? Like, how did you approach those?
It's hard for me to answer that. I can only base this off my first kiss with Andy, right? Because after that, it was like I had kissed someone on the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but every girl, it's gonna be like, is this?
No, what I'm saying, like when I distinctly remember my first kiss with Andy, and this was like me being just super naive. Like I certainly had watched the show in preparation for me going on, but I wasn't like, and it was also different. And to me, I was the fool who thought a kiss meant something in that show. And what I'm saying is this, like, I'm like, I don't know if she's going to like me. I don't know, like, what's going to happen. You know, I even had the first impression rose, and then I got an early date, but I was still like nervous about like having a connection with her. Right.
Yeah.
And so when we kissed for the first time, it, not to sound corny, but it felt like magical, and like it felt like it meant something. And I was like, at that point, all in, only to pretty much knowing now there's like people make out. It's what you do on the show. It's like, it's the default of like not having anything better to do.
Yeah.
So it really just kind of depends on, I think it's different now because I think
feel like that's the way
show.
it is in real life too, because sometimes I like make out with someone and it means so much to me because I'm like, I don't just do that. And then they're just like, yeah, we just like, people just make out all the time. Like some people have different perceptions of making out, and I'm like, we're making out, like this is it, like yeah. And
with
especially
Andy,
on a
that's
reality
how it felt.
show.
Yeah. But with,
I'm
sure. when I went on with Caitlin, we had talked. So like, me and Caitlin kissed literally 2 seconds into us like meeting
being
for the
alone.
first.
Not
even. It was just like, it was like the only thing we hadn't done is kiss. We had FaceTime for hours and talked and text, and it was just like, oh, we'd love to like. It's like you got to know someone virtually, and all you wanted to do was to.
Oh, so you guys had already talked about kissing.
Yeah, so there was like the only thing we had left to do was like to find out about the physical connection. So that was different, but like, and then by then it was like old hat kind of thing. So, but it all depends. I think these people. I think it's different now because not only has a Bachelor like become more mainstream with social media, so whether you haven't watched it or not, like, but all these other reality TV dating shows is like what you do. So I think people, the expectation, like I think this like Matt guy, right? He like comes in like I'm gonna be like kissing, maybe even having sex on the first date. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? There's this like heightened expectation of a physical connection going on that I don't think it means that much to some of the cast members, even the women.
Yes. I mean, I was surprised she rejected kissing him because it was just like, oh, like, why not? You're in
But
the
wasn't
hot
she
tub.
the girl in her package who was just like, I've dated every guy in LA. I fall easily. I'm here to say I live in LA. I haven't met Rudi.
That's right. I forgot that she had said that. So she's a little on guard.
She's guarded.
But like,
She's guarded. Yeah.
he like was such a like her to have to sit there and watch him ask that other girl on a date when he just said, I'm going to ask you. And then she had to like applaud and like pretend. Ugh!
I can't decide whether I like or hate Matt. I think I hate him. There were moments where I thought, okay, I could be friends with this guy. I think he's the type of guy that like gives a pretty solid first impression. He's pretty likable. I would want to be friends with him, and then by like the fourth time hanging out with him, he would do something weird, and I'd be like, "This guy's bad news."
That's it. He's like, and that's exactly what he is. Like, you'd be like, "No, why'd you do that? We thought you were cool."
Yeah,
that's kind of
like,
what that was.
Yeah, like
He's got a lot to learn, I think.
He's 32.
Ugh.
Yeah,
You better learn it fast.
This is who Matt is.
Yeah,
Matt's
you're right. That's who Matt is.
Fun fact about Matt: Matt's longest relationship is with his beard, 7 years and going strong. So.
Okay, well, like, what does that mean? Was he with someone for 6 years? I want to know.
No.
I bet his longest relationship is like 9 months. I bet he's one of those guys.
Totally.
And it was one time. And it was long distance.
Matt mentioned early in the episode, he was like, "Well, we're all musicians, so like we're all like good people." And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what time it is, but I'm pretty sure there's been
that was a bizarre statement.
Yeah, there's a long list of musicians who have destroyed people's lives and relationships for like their own like narcissism and vanity. Like, I mean, as all humans do. I'm not just picking on musicians, but like. There's a lot of like
notoriously like kind of bad people to be in relationships with.
Yeah.
Maybe they meant like empathetic and like aware of people's feelings.
I think he just thinks he's a good person and has no self-awareness. And
I think all narcissists think they're good people.
Him. Yes. Yes.
I'm not saying Matt's a narcissist. I'm just saying it's kind of a bizarre comment.
Of course he is. Of course, with that haircut, you love yourself. But good for him because
also like his idea to go in the hot tub like wasn't an accident. The guy's been like working out for the better part of a decade.
Yes.
You know,
he's trying in every way he can.
It's like, hey, so should we like I don't know, do we get naked now? Is there a hot tub? Honestly, I don't need an excuse, but I want you to feel comfortable.
Yes.
Didn't you spend half your season in the hot tub, Nick?
Yeah, but I didn't I was never like, let's go to a hot tub. It was always like, hey guys, there's a hot tub, get in it.
Trevor got in that hot tub too. Trevor moved things along pretty quickly.
Let's talk about
Jamie.
Trevor. Trevor's clearly going to be the heartthrob of this season. He's traditionally good looking. He's going to be the I know you said you like him, but like
yeah, I would have been all over Trev dog.
He like think every word out of his mouth.
I would have been
Every word out of his mouth, he wants you to think is the deepest shit anyone's ever heard. He's just like,
I think he's just that's how he talks, Nick. I
know that's how he talks.
I don't think he's trying to sound some way. I'm just like, I think he is just, he's very like, you know where I fell in love with Trevor? Like legit fell in love. I was like kind of mad Jamie picked him because I was like, I would slide into his DMs tonight. Because
you still can.
I know I definitely will. And he's 32, right?
No,
he's 29.
Trevor, he's not tall.
He isn't?
No.
I don't mind that. He is like super handsome and he's got a good hairline. And you know what I liked about him though, was when Chris Harrison comes in to talk to everyone and he goes like, how are you guys feeling tonight? You know, like classic, how you guys feeling? And Trevor's just like, you know what? I'm really scared. Like, I really like Jamie right now, and she like is definitely like interested in other people, and it's making. And everyone's just sitting there like, are we all supposed to say the most obvious? It was so vulnerable.
This guy's been on American Idol. I am 100% convinced that Trevor, while I'm sure overall is a fine guy, he's just a fucking dude, and he does dude things. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy,
my dad hates him too.
Trevor wants
this guy's a phony. And I'm like, no,
Trevor's selling himself
not.
as like this, like what every girl wants. And he's just in touch with his feelings. And he's just here with his dog and his beanie, writing music for his future wife. And all I'm telling you, it's all a fucking act.
That's so interesting. You think that it's an act.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's clueless. I think this is not an effortless thing of Trevor. This is all very.
Then if it's not effortless, he should have picked a different jacket. That thing he's wearing is terrible.
That's what Jed wore the whole season with Hannah.
No. It's a bad look.
What do you guys think? I mean, it's kind of funny. One thing I noticed is like the wardrobes. That's the only thing that's not Bachelor. It's just like everyone's dressed like their own kind of their costumes. You know, like.
What's that one guy's name? Shamulus or
Sheridan?
The arm, yeah.
Shamulus.
Sheridan
is like that's it's that steampunk look with the top hat and he's insane.
Yeah, he lives out of his car and
yes,
he seems like he seems like I believe his act. Like that
Yes,
is
he's
truly who he
sincere.
is. Like he's a unique, eccentric guy who's
I
like
wonder
this-
if he talks about living out of his car though, in the mansion. Like I wonder if the girls know that that's his situation.
I bet he does. He doesn't seem the type of guy who's embarrassed of
Who he is.
who he is.
He has
and
so many rings.
I don't think it's an act.
He ain't scared to put a ring on it, ladies,
is not.
because
He
he
is-
puts
rings
7 on his
all-
own fingers and
all
probably
over
toes.
himself. What's his name? The army guy, the sniper dude. He wore like basically a windbreaker to the rose ceremony.
Wait.
Which one was that?
Brandon.
That doesn't
30
help. The
Yeah.
bald guy?
No, he's like the army dude. He's got the first rose. And he was
did? Why is this
Yeah.
guy so forgettable to me?
Listen, I'm only
wait.
remember their names because I brought up the list here.
Who picked him?
Julia.
And which one is she?
She's the one who kind of like seems motherly like. She's a cystic fibrosis person, the do-gooder.
Okay. And is he okay, is the
Blonde.
Brandon guy like tall and blonde?
Yeah, they're just two blonde people. It's
Yes.
like two.
Okay, two basic blonde people.
But he like
Yeah.
wore like a windbreaker to the rose ceremony. It was
He
just
did?
like-
I didn't even see that.
It was
I
just
don't know
like-
about him. He's boring
Yeah, I mean they didn't get much
so
maritime-
far.
I also loved we're bouncing around, but I loved interesting how in the rose ceremony, like once you got a rose, like the couples walked off and did this like walk. And then you know how when like Chris usually says, "Oh well, sorry guys, say your goodbyes."
Yeah.
They had to say goodbye to each other, the only people going home, because no one else gave a shit.
I didn't. I turned it off because I was like, I'm sure they're just going to all go say goodbye, but they just left those guys to say goodbye to each other?
No, they went in the other room then, but
Okay.
it was awkward.
No,
Yeah, like
yeah, it
everyone
was super
they
awkward.
weren't right there. Oh my God, that's so
And
funny.
Chris has such a speech he's so used to saying, and so he had to say like a different kind of speech, and it kind of seemed like he was just rambling a little bit. You're like, okay, where's this going, Chris?
His final advice: listen to your heart. Which
Listen to your heart.
was like, I mean, I got to give Chris props for saying the cheesiest things with the straightest of faces.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he's really sincere about
He
it.
really sells it. Also, can we talk about how like this new Bachelor mansion seems significantly better than the actual Bachelor mansion?
Wait, it's not
except
the same one?
It's like a barracks. The bunk bed situation is terrible.
Pardon me?
The bunk bed situation.
Those are
that's
classic.
so- I hate that.
Those are the Bachelor beds. Well, because of the art department, it's the same furniture. It's all the same stuff on the
so
wall.
you've slept in those like bachelor beds,
Terrible. They're like for 6-year-olds.
and like how does it work when everyone goes to sleep and then everyone like is waking up in the morning? Like, does everyone respect each other? Are you guys just like waking each other up, doing push-ups? Like, like how does it work when you go to sleep? Do you all talk and fall asleep together, or do you like do your own things? Is it like prison?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. It's like, yes, it's like a combination of prison and summer camp. Not that I've been to either, but what I've guessed is both. But after a while, you just kind of get sick of each other and just like you just put your headphones on and try to like,
Yeah.
You don't get a lot. Yeah, that's the thing. And then people wake up at different times.
They always act like it's so ideal. They're like bunk beds, and all of them are like, oh God. Fucking
But
bunk
everyone seems to be a bit smaller because like Bachelor people, like at least the guys are all like 6'2" or taller, and
Yeah.
maybe musicians are.
Oh yeah,
shorter?
they're
I
a
don't
wee
know.
bunch.
Yeah,
That's why they learned an instrument, is because they're not tall. They needed people to like them. It's true. Musicians are short a lot of times.
They were. Yeah. So who else? Who else should we cover?
I don't know. Trevor. Okay, Trevor and Jamie. Can we just I think their love is real. I bet they're gonna make it without
Their love
a doubt.
is real?
I bet
Oh
that's
my
who
God.
Nick saw her on a date with. I really do believe it.
Yeah.
I
You
really
liked
think
when he sat down and was playing that song for her?
I didn't. It didn't I don't love it, to be honest with you. No, actually, no, I did love that. I loved. I didn't like when Shamulus did it, but Sheridan.
He was good.
He was great, but she was making out with this guy, and he's like, hey, come here, I want to play you a song with my rings. And but she was into it. I would have been so annoyed by him and been like, you're wasting my time. But she liked it, and then she picked him, so it was the right move.
Playing your guitar is like the new push-up in this show, where it's just like normally like you would just like the guys on Paradise would like, well, we're just gonna go work on the beach and hope that you girls all like check us out. And now it's just like, now we're just gonna go like, hey, do you want me to sing you a song? Like that's all it is. It's the same.
We're gonna get a lot of that.
Instead of push-ups on the beach, it's just accidentally finding a guitar or a piano to like, pass the time.
It was like Sheridan was like, hey, I wrote the first verse and the chorus, and I thought maybe you could like, write the bridge. And it's like, wait, you're giving me home. I have to write this song now that I don't want to like, but she was into it. But what I liked about Trevor's song, I love that John Mayer song, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. It's about Jennifer Aniston. It's like one of the best songs ever. So I thought it was a great song choice, even though she's like, great, another John Mayer song. I have to watch a guy like live his fantasy of being John Mayer in front of me.
We should get John Mayer to recap one of these podcasts.
Oh my God, you really should.
I think I'm almost annoyed because I think Trevor's gonna be he seems like a good guy. He's like, but I don't believe the shtick. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's just a guy.
Wow.
He's doing a better job of looking charming than Matt is. Because I think Matt and Trevor are basically the same guy. They just show it differently. Right.
And then Ryan is Harry Styles, Shawn Mendes. Right?
And yeah, with a little bit of Bill Hader.
But I just don't why does... I'm sure he's a great guy, but he gives nothing. I just don't feel like...
He's there for the music.
I want to believe their love.
Well, that's the thing. I think Ryan is probably...
he's there for the...
He's probably one of the most talented musicians there, would be my guess.
Yes.
Not having seen them. And I think he's really there for the music. And that's kind of fascinating about the show. You have some people there for fame, some people there for love, and some people there for music. Mm-hmm. Right? Well, they're all there for the fame. But there's some people in terms of more interested in hooking up and having a connection with someone, Jamie, versus some people there to play music and actually have a chance of being discovered. And I think you have two different groups. And I would put Ryan in one group and Jamie in another.
Yes, I agree. But I also think that, I agree. Some of them are just I'm open to hooking up. I'm who's going to turn that down?
Yeah, Matt's there to hook up. Matt is there. Matt wants to be on Paradise.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a good point. And he can sing and he's fine. I don't think he has any expectations.
Trevor wants both.
Trevor wants to be the Bachelor.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
he's too short.
Is he too short? How short is he, Nick? I need to know. I really do love him.
My guess would be somewhere around the 5'10".
Okay, still taller than me. I can take it. I really need to comment on the ads that are playing as they go to commercial to get people to sign up for Claire's season of The Bachelorette. They are so humiliating for poor Claire. Will anyone please date this woman? We are desperate. In light of it's if you want to date Claire, whatever her name is, please sign up. It's asking people to, it's the way they're asking people to, volunteer for to work in hospitals now. It's that desperate.
I don't.
It felt like a COVID-19 commercial.
Yeah.
My guess is that that's not what it is. They do this for every show.
I know.
Yes, they did it for every.
But never specifically this woman.
No,
someone please.
It's
fuck her.
It's a unique situation where they Claire, casting Claire was a last minute decision.
Right. It just doesn't look good that she's the first old Bachelorette and
yes, I think
and they're
it happens to be a bad look, but I think it's an earnest attempt to try to age up the cast.
Good. They need to.
They have nothing but time right now, so they might as well see. Can we find?
I wonder if they're just gonna. But weren't they already shooting her?
They
season?
were. I mean, they had.
So why are they looking for more?
because like more than half her guys were like in their early 20s, and it was like, okay, she'll date younger guys, but like half the cast is just not believable.
Oh, so they're starting over?
I don't know if they're starting over, but I think they're just putting it out there that if they can find 3 or 4 real options who are maybe like in their early to mid 30s, they might swap out some of those guys for some of the 25-year-olds.
Okay, well, then I like it, but
they might not recast at all, but I think they're just kind of putting it out there.
Yeah,
that it's still an option to like submit your amazing 36-year-old doctor friend who like just hasn't found love and would be perfect for Claire.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, I hope it works out for Claire. I can't wait for her season when everything picks back up.
What do we think about the rumors of them possibly doing the whole season in a hotel in like a 5 to 6 week period, no traveling?
I love it. I'll watch anything.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for us. I feel bad for Claire if that's the case.
I mean, in a hotel, so you just it kind of would end up being like Love is Blind, but like you see the person.
Kind of. My guess it would be like some sort of like seasonal hotel, like in Utah, where it's usually like a winter ski resort that they're not really using, and because of the pandemic, they're not using it all that much. So like this hotel would do like a trade out, saying, all right, promote our hotel. We're not really using it anyways. You have free reigns of the hotel. It's probably this massive like resort that has a lot of activities. They can like plan some dates around the city, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That would probably be something like that.
And, this isn't going to lift anytime soon. So it will actually be interesting to watch a dating show that is set in the time that like this is happening, like working around, like what are we all supposed to do to date? Like, let us know, Bachelor like franchise, like how is it done? Because for me, I just feel like it's like on hold. Do you feel that way, Nick? Like you're a single guy. Like what's going on with your dating life right now?
So many things. How about you?
Well, I asked you first, but you will answer if I answer.
I mean,
are
honestly,
you deflecting?
I'm deflecting a little bit, but I honestly like. And I would argue to say that other than the physical aspect, sex, making out, quarantine, like now is as good of a time as any of like resetting your roster, so to speak. You have literally nothing to lose, especially for women. This is like the safest time to date. There's like no excuse to like go out with a creepy, dangerous guy who like might make you feel uncomfortable and like, gaslight you and try to get you up to your room or whatever. Like you can swipe left. Dating apps are still working. You can go on Zoom. If you happen to find yourself on an awkward Zoom date and he's weird, you know what you do? You just close it.
Leave the meeting.
You just leave the meeting. Like it's kind of like a great way to really like speed date and get to know someone with really no downside.
Have you done it?
No.
It's because there's no end game. Like we don't know when we like if there was a way, if we could see a way out eventually, I think maybe that would be it. But like, it's hard to, I don't know. You're just going to talk forever, which I guess is sweet and like was fun in high school.
Don't you
like
love
that's what they did in the war. They wrote letters and sent them across the ocean,
Don't you love a good kind of long distance FaceTime?
But I don't want to do it right now for some reason. Like
really?
Everyone who's reaching out to me, I'm just like, I mean, maybe they're just people I'm not interested in. I could
there's
actually,
that. And you might be still adjusting to like, it's not fun because you're forced to do it.
Yeah. But like, it's just, I feel like most guys are reaching out. This is my theory.
But are these like guys reaching back out that you've met or connected with? Or are these like new guys?
New guys.
Sliding into the DMs?
Guys that I've like barely like known like a little bit before, but like it was stalled for a really long time. Like I maybe went on one date and now so I guess they are starting up again, but like we never even did anything, that kind of thing. But I think it's just like, I'm just not that into it. Like I keep questioning like, why don't I want to get to know anyone? But I think it's that.
Have you FaceTime or Zoomed them?
They want to, and I just feel like it's so, I don't know. I don't ever want to do it. And I think it might be.
Are these random guys?
Well, no, they're people that I've like met before.
Okay.
But
so it's not like a matter of
I just don't know what we're going to talk about. How's your couch?
Yeah, but like, you being the big star that you are, and some random guy wants to Zoom you, like, is there a little bit of like nervousness on opening up that?
No, and they're never random guys. Like no guy on DM, like I'm not all the guys DMing me are like not. I just don't get anyone I'm really into ever on there. There's like been a couple like, when I got to St. Louis, like I came here for quarantine, like whenever we all did that a month ago or so. And when I landed in St. Louis, I pulled up Raya and they have like the like geolocation of like where people are at. And I'm like, is anyone in St. Louis on Raya? And there's one guy so hot, like so my type, like not too much of a narcissist. Like I could tell he's a hockey player, like a Blues hockey player. And I was like, yes. And so I just followed him on Instagram. And then he wrote to me and we were like going to go on a social distance hike. And then he couldn't. And then he had to go like live with his parents in Montreal. And so it didn't happen. But I was like trying. I'm on Hinge in St. Louis. I'm putting it out there.
You're on Hinge. You're on Hinge in St. Louis.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not even joking you. The app is broken because I haven't gotten a like since the first day I was on. And my profile's amazing.
It must be broken. There's no way.
It's literally, I know, it must be broken.
If men can't like have the opportunity to have sex, I don't think they're as motivated to swipe, honestly.
Dude, I agree. And this is what I think men are jerking off too much. And in order for men to like want to reach out to you and be like, hey, how are you? They like their balls can't be empty. Like they need to have a little bit of motivation to like want to engage. And guys are just jerking off too much. And I've had guys like write me there's like this one guy that always just writes me in the middle of the night and is like, how are you? Like, how's your mom? And I'm like, you are definitely touching yourself right now. Like, do you want to just get to what you really want to know?
His mom, yeah. How's your mom? Want to send a nude?
Yeah, it's like, how's your mom? What are you wearing? I'm like, okay, and that to me is also equally obnoxious.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to. I just don't think I'm interested in any of these people. Is the truth?
There's that, and there's probably some truth to all.
Do you
that.
ever feel bad about that, Nick? Like when you're like, I should like this person. They like me. They seem like a good. Like, do you doubt your instincts sometimes?
There's yes, 100%. Like, there's definitely been moments where I'm just like, why? Like, I'm just gonna. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna date this person. Like, I'm going to do this, and then I'll just say no because it's like. Maybe I am broken. I don't know. But at the same time, like, I do know that, like, I don't want to, my sincerity of making this work in this relationship, right? Because, and like, I'm black and white when it comes to that. Like, I haven't been in a relationship in a while, but when I am, I pride myself of being, like, a great boyfriend. I'm faithful. I'm honest. I'm attentive. Like, when I'm in a relationship, I put a ton of effort in, which is why, like, I don't go into I don't need to have a girlfriend. I'm fine with being quote unquote alone. Mm-hmm. And I'm not one of those people who like just wants to be in a relationship because when I am, I expect a lot of myself. And so like, to me, I think of it as just like, well, I don't want to do this for this relationship or this person. So I don't, and so there are times where I'm just like, well, they seem nice. Like there's nothing really wrong. I'm just fucking bored.
Yeah. It's being bored. You're so right. And I you gotta just like, you're either into it or you're not. Like you feel it or you don't. And I can't force myself to like someone just because all my friends are like, why wouldn't you like him? He likes shit. Like I'll try, I'll give it a whirl. But if it's like after one try, if it's not working, I just can't keep wasting my time. Like, and I just don't want to get someone else's hopes up and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think guys are jerking off more? Do you have like clear evidence about this? Or are you just assuming that?
I've been polling my guy friends and they're all saying it's like part of their like just routine. It's just like eat, jerk off, sleep, read, little bit of work, jerk off, shower, sleep, read, jerk off. Like I told you I took a stand-up comedy class. I've been working on writing some jokes, and I was working on this joke that like didn't really go anywhere, but it was more like
because I've been single for a while, like I want jerking off to mean something again, because now it's just something to do to pass the time. You know, it's just like, well, I got 5 minutes to burn. Like, fuck it. I'll just go do this, right?
Yeah.
And in a relationship, you get excited because, like, no one wants to get caught jerking off. And it's like this kind of special moment of sneaking around with yourself.
Yes.
But anyways, I don't know if I'm doing it more.
I haven't jerked off since before the pandemic. Literally have not had an orgasm since
Why?
before don't know. Was a little bit too busy before it, and now like I am not.
Mom and dad.
I'm living with my parents. Legit, like I never have a chance to do it where I feel like safe from them either hearing it or knowing that I'm doing it, or the dog is like
really?
in the room with me. It's just
maybe that's a guy thing. It's never stopped me. I go home from Christmas. It doesn't really break my routine.
I know, but I don't know why it's breaking my routine this time, because it usually doesn't for me either. Like I used to live at home with my parents in like my mid-20s, and one time there was a man, like not a man, a guy, like there was just some man. There was I was sleeping with a guy. He was inside me, and my dad like came and knocked on my door and was like, "Hey Nick, lunch is ready." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad." Like I had to talk to my dad. With a penis in me. So that I think scarred me a little bit to ever be sexual, just in case my mom or dad like comes to talk to me while I'm like coming. I don't know what I would do.
That would be a challenge. To bring it back to the show a little bit, I will say.
Oh yeah, what were we talking about?
It's fine. This is great. That world, like when I first went on the show, like I don't think I did for 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it was a combination of like a bunch of just being surrounded by dudes.
Oh yeah.
Not having any privacy, being stressed out, like a million other things going on. Even though you had a ton of time of just sitting around, it was just like. And then there was just like a moment where I was like, man, I haven't done this in 3 weeks. I like maybe this is why I'm not feeling like myself.
But also, like when you're going on these dates and you're thinking about this girl that you're kind of falling in love with, aren't you fucking horny as hell? Like, isn't that
I mean, the first time when I was on the show, I was just stressed. The horniness doesn't really.
Yeah, when you're stressed, horniness
Paradise is different. Paradise is different because like you're just around a bunch of chicks and everyone's wearing swimsuits and it's just like
vacation vibes. And so you're more relaxed.
And then this would be interesting because like these guys, like night one, like this Matt guy, he's in a hot tub with Rudi and like they're all horned up and like, but they're not hooking up right away. So there's definitely some more creative sneaking around to jerk off. I guarantee you with these guys because it's a lot of teasing.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone's going to sleep together in those bunk beds.
Yeah.
Are they there the whole time?
I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to be there the whole show. They didn't travel. This whole thing was filmed in LA.
It's weird that they're living together, but I mean, that's like pretty much paradise.
It's paradise. I also like the house looked way better than the Bachelor Mansion. It looked like it was like filmed like down the street.
The Bachelor Mansion.
Definitely not. No.
Totally they had to like walk upstairs when they first arrived.
Yeah, it looked like a much bigger, and it looked like it was in the same neighborhood, like maybe down like a couple miles in the same.
Peter's house.
Yeah, the next door, but it's 2 miles away.
Yeah, like the next super rich person who like bought the house and isn't using it.
Yeah.
Nick, I have some bad news. Trevor Holmes is 6 feet tall, according to his modeling page. I just
he has a modeling page,
which means he's 5'10".
Ha.
That's
we got to see pictures of him and then compare the things in the picture.
That's like when you go to like that's like Michael Jordan's bio said he was 6'6" and he's actually like 6'4".
You always round up 2 inches, guys do.
Yeah.
Like an inch and a half.
Especially if it's like a modeling thing or an athletic thing. I would bet whatever amount of money that without shoes on, barefoot, he is no way 6 foot. And especially because it says 6 foot. Because like the difference between 5'11" and 6 feet in your head is so significant. And every guy wants to say 6 feet and instead of 5'11". No guy wants to like tell a woman his height and have the word 5 be the first word out of his mouth.
Wait, what is his last name?
Holmes, Holmes.
Okay, I gotta look at pictures of him next to things because I really will be able. I'm really good at telling how tall guys
A
are.
banana for scale.
He does have like a very short like vibe to him.
I mean, I had a short vibe, so that
Yeah, you honestly like it's so insane how tall you are. Why do you look short on
camera?
TV, Nick?
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. This could be elusive. Like we could be
I may
seeing
or
the
may
same
not have
optical
seen
illusion.
Trevor in person.
Okay, that's right. You did. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! He's taken. Jamie and him will be very happy together.
I don't know how it all shakes out, but I'm willing to bet that maybe the relationships that bud from Listen to Your Heart might not be as long lasting as other Bachelor.
Well, I would love this if it were like comedians. Like I was thinking about if there was like listen to the laughs. If there was like a season where it was like
honestly
comedians and
if
we had to like
duo act?
we had to start a podcast together.
If this takes off, like the Bachelor could pretty much like do all these categories. They're gonna do senior citizens, 65 and older. They said they were planning on.
That'll be good. No, I would totally do a show that was like made you work with the people because that's usually what I want to do anyway. Is like I'm always like, oh, let's collab, and then.
I mean, I got to assume, and what I'm looking forward to with this show is when the competitive elements come out, and not only with like the same sexes, but the, in the relationship, because that, like, for example, let's assume Trevor and Jamie take off. Like, who's better? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the more talented? And
right.
Will it be competitive that way? Will the other person like be insincere and like compliment them? Like, will there be drama from like the music aspect of the show? Eventually that's going to definitely come out. And I'm assuming the producers would leverage that kind of like insecurities and competitive aspect, because like that's what's like in the other shows you just have like the love aspect, which is enough in terms of like being competitive and not going home and feeling embarrassed. But now it's like, now you have that plus like who's a better musician.
I think it's going to bring out people's insecurities, and I think the people that are really like the best couples will be one if like one person is like kind of nervous and the other person is more confident. Like I feel like we'll see the differences in that way, but I don't think anyone's going to be like so bad that it will be noticeable because someone else is so good.
I don't think it's going to be so bad, but I think you'll still see the competitive, like I still think there will be drama based off of their insecurity about someone being a better musician.
Oh, totally. It's like that's the way it is. Yeah, when I've dated comedians or like my friends who have dated comedians, like and even for my friends, like when they get things, there's a part of me that's like super jealous, even though I'm like happy for them and like they're my friend or whatever. But you just like, you can't help but be like, oh, that could have been me, and they got that thing that I deserved.
Yeah, no, I think that's
in relationships. It's so gross, but it's like kind of unavoidable.
I think it's going to be kind of fun. I want to see more of Chris. Chris, the singer-songwriter. I think he's music-wise. I think he's the one who's always singing in the morning.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's real good.
I think he's really good, and my guess is because like they keep showing him performing, and they don't really show him like talking or connecting, or like when they show him, it's all about the music. Who picked him? It was was it the yoga girl? No. But did he have a love connection with someone? It was Bree.
Oh yeah, they actually liked each other.
Yeah, they seem.
Or she likes him. He seems a little bit like the same way. What's his name seemed? Ryan seemed.
I think
like
like
he's there for the music.
Yeah, early on they seem like the two most talented because they keep showing them playing, and they're like really good, and it's like by themselves. I really hope someone from this show like has a quasi successful music career. Like I hope someone, I think that'd be really good for the show to get credibility about someone actually Like
It looks like they found extremely talented people. I mean, none of these people you've gone, like not one. They all are like coming in strong.
Yeah.
Like you would see these people at American Idol for sure.
Well, we saw Trevor on American
Oh,
Idol.
that's true. Ugh, I didn't, but I'm going back to look.
So, Rashad, are you as all in on Trevor as Nikki?
Not at all. I do not like him. I don't like his Jed jacket. I didn't like his serenade. I didn't like that he stole Jamie away
This
from
is
Ryan.
what
I'm
tells
a Ryan
me-
girl.
He's always
I'm a Ryan girl.
He's always
What?
He's always
Yep.
squinting with his eyes, Trevor. It's just like
I've seen that guy at a party, and I have gone into another room. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Am I that naive? Like, I will admit that maybe I am just, my picker is so bad that I'm attracted to these men that are just like so fake. But I feel like he was the realist. Like, what's wrong with me?
I'm not saying he's fake, but he is definitely not the realist. Like the realist is like Cheyenne or whatever the fuck his name is, who's like, here's my fucking hats in my car.
Sheridan.
No, Trevor is basic white boy, hot, who's like, who just like has a whole fucking act about like, and it's all most like Trevor became a musician to have sex with women. That's his only reason. And again, nothing wrong with that because that's probably a lot of like, you even joked like guy comedians. It's like, I want to get laid.
Yeah.
But
That's why we do everything, to be honest.
yeah. But like Trevor more than, and I think Trevor's a good looking guy. He also, he's not like unaware that he's hot. He's just really good at false humility.
Okay. But maybe it's real. Maybe
Definitely
he's
not real. Again, I'm sure he's a fine guy. I'm not saying he's like.
I still have faith in him, and I think he's a good person, and I think that we could end up together.
I'm not saying he's a bad person, and you should definitely try to have sex with him. But I just don't think his humility is genuine.
All right.
This whole like,
Well,
I'm
time will
nervous.
tell.
I'm nervous. Trevor wasn't nervous at all. Trevor knew what he was doing. He's just, and his bullshit line of just like, I don't want to make this seem like a last-ditch attempt at getting your rose. Like, yeah, you are. This is exactly an attempt at getting your rose. And, like, you are just going to... And he came in, and he's got swag. I give him credit, but, like, that's what I'm saying. You don't have the swag that he has and also the false humility. It's an act. It's, like, it's not real. And kudos for him for doing a good job selling it because I'm certain that a lot of people watching Nikki are in your camp, and he's going to be the fan favorite guy. Don't get me. He's definitely going to be. He will. 100%.
Will we? Do you think I'll eventually come around to your side and see him for what he is? Do you think he'll reveal himself to be that way?
Not this season. I mean, they showed a preview of some new girl coming in, like who knows a girl who like Trevor used to like have sex with, and it sounds like maybe she calls him out for being maybe like a basic douchebag. But my guess is that overall he's gonna look pretty solid this season because you need a heartthrob. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the best looking guy. But I do think that like if Paradise ever picks back up, right?
Trevor's there.
Trevor's definitely there because I don't care if he's with Jamie or not. He will break up with Jamie to go to Paradise and he will be a villain.
Wow. Okay, that is
long
an
game.
amazing prediction, and I hope I kind of want you to be right because that
And
would
I'm
be so.
99% certain I'm going to be right, and Trevor's going to listen to this, and he's going to be like, "No, man, like I'm like real," and he won't be able to help himself. But he's
Trevor,
going to go.
if you're listening, I think you're genuine. I will totally be tricked by your ways. If you want to throw
Who should
my
we
way.
have? Who from this season should we get on the show, on this podcast?
I mean,
Should we get Trevor on?
yeah, you should get Trevor on, and you should confront him with all of this. That would be amazing to be like, listen, dude, I just see through it. That would be I would love to hear him on.
I think overall he's probably a nice guy. I could be friends with him, but he's a bit of a tryhard.
I think you need to get Matt. Matt will want to explain his side of things. But Rudi's going to be the best. Rudi's going to be a fun hang. She's going to be funny. She's cool.
We didn't talk at all about Julie. Is that her name?
Which
Julie?
one's Julie?
She's the one with cystic fibrosis.
Wait, is she the one that went on the date with Matt?
She's with the army
Blonde
guy.
hair.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, she seems sweet and boring.
Oh
I agree
yeah,
with Nikki.
Julie. Yeah, okay, I like
But
her.
like cystic fibrosis, it like affects your lungs. So the fact that she's a singer is pretty cool.
yeah, she's overcome some stuff, just as what's his name did too. He had seizures.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah,
He had
Ryan.
brain
Yeah.
surgery. Oh, we didn't talk about Gabe. I think Gabe reminds me of Markel from Andy's season. He's the black guy, army fitness dude package, but seems really sweet.
Yes. Who did he end up with?
No, I don't. Oh, he got like
He got let go.
Oh, he got the Rudi.
Oh, he
Rudi.
did?
Yeah, remember she pivoted from Matt and then was hitting it off with Rudi.
I don't.
I hope that Gabe like shines through because he's got a great smile. He actually seems like he can really sing.
Yes.
But then, I don't know. I hope that Rudi isn't boring. He might be too boring, but I think he seems like I think Rudi. I'm sorry. I think Gabe is a great guy.
Okay. You think? Okay, I like this.
But probably
I'm gonna pay
too
attention
boring.
to Gabe next time. I really didn't even like.
He
see
might be
Gabe
too
enough.
boring, and he probably won't make a dent because he's just too damn sweet, and he doesn't really care about all the attention.
Right.
But I think he's probably a decent guy.
Do you think? But is there someone for him? Who picked him again? Rudi did.
Rudi. Yeah.
But I think Rudi just like was like I
Rudi
like.
doesn't know
He's
what
fine.
she wants. She's
No.
just like I don't think. Yeah, it'd be interesting because also we don't know like who's going to show up, right? Like next week there's going to be new women showing up, right?
Can't wait.
Because they're going to have more women than men, so then men have the power just like Paradise.
Yes.
And ideally they're going to have like I would assume that they have like hotter people will be showing up.
I can't wait.
Right? Because the idea of being like everyone's getting settled in, they're not even my guess is when they filmed the show, they didn't even explain to people how it would go. Like they might be
Right.
thinking this is like, you know, if they've seen the show, they're going to guess that new people would show up and they're questioning it, but they don't know for sure. And when they do,
That's gonna be fun when they do.
they'll just show up and it'll be, you would think like traditionally good looking people and maybe even better. If I'm a producer, I hold some of like the super hot people for like the first entries to like really fuck shit up.
Yes.
Like there's definitely like you have the girls coming in this week and then episode 3, you'll have these new guys. And I'm assuming there's going to have to be a couple like hotties.
Oh my God, this show is so good. I want to I love it. I wish there was one for like people in their 30s. I really do. I really wish there was more bachelors for people in their 30s. I know they're Claire, but like they need to have more. It's so fun. It's like the idea of like, I just think it would be such a fun. Is there any part of you, Nick, that like wants to go back into that world?
Overall,
wasn't it
no.
fun?
I mean, no. Paradise was fun. Like, if I could just do the I've said this, but if I could just do the experience of Paradise without it being the show and like the earnestness of like, I just don't have it in me to go down on the show and be like, I'm here for love. Like, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you go down there and if you happen to meet someone you connect with, then great. But like to show up and be like, I can't find love, so like this is why I'm here. Like, you know, I don't have that in me anymore.
Can't you just say that though?
Oh, sure.
Or won't they? Will
no,
they not like
yeah,
that?
they've gotten better about that.
Like I'm just here because like let's see what happens.
I mean, ultimately, I'd like to do more with my career than go back on the reality TV show.
I know, but it still is like.
But the
fun.
experience itself, like Paradise, was a ton of fun, and I
Yeah.
will say, like, those 3 weeks were 3 weeks of my life I'll never forget, and had a absolute ton of fun, and would love to do it again.
Yeah, I'm just looking for things to do. I don't have a stand-up career anymore, so.
What
I'm
are
just
you
like?
before we let you go? Let's talk
Got
about
like
that.
5
a little.
podcasts.
Yeah, I see.
I know,
You,
I have
you were
a
on
lot of-
you were on Bill Maher the other day.
Yeah,
Are
you know
you
that
on-
stuff trickles in still, but like my main source of income and like my main thing was doing stand-up every weekend. Like. And now that's gone, so it's like,
how do you guys? Is there like a talk in the comedy world of like how to pivot? Like, could you do like broadcast like where people could like do like a Patreon, like pay $1 and like get like an audience of like 2,000 people to like listen to Nikki's stand up from her parents?
it's just weird though because you don't have the laughter. You don't hear the laughter, or like you can set it up so that you can, but like. It just performing live. There's just nothing like it. So I'm just like I'm getting into other stuff. You know, I'm just doing radio show. Like I just got to find other ways to make money. Luckily, I have other talents, but it's like it's a bummer.
Yeah.
because it's like it's the one thing I always thought I would have in my back pocket.
When does your episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire come out?
That's Wednesday night.
So
this
like
Wednesday.
Tomorrow. Great.
Yes, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, well, make sure to tune in on ABC to check out.
Oh, dude, it's wild. I break the show. I literally broke the show, and they didn't know what to do, and they had to like stop everything, and like it was crazy.
Have you seen it? Have you seen your episode?
I haven't seen it yet, but I lived it, and it was, it was interesting because Jimmy Kimmel is the host, and his wife was watching, like they were watching episodes together, and the other night she DM'd me and was like, she's like, I'm watching your part. I've never felt this much suspense since election night. She was like, that's how wild. My segment's pretty crazy.
This is a great promo. I'm definitely tuning in.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, well, make sure to check out Nikki on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I have a podcast that I do every day now that I'm in quarantine. It's called You Up. And it's 15-minute podcasts every single day. And it's like
great.
Me just like rambling into the ether.
Yeah. I think you should try to do, I want to see like some sort of creative stand-up from you. Be a leader in that. Whoever comes up with the most unique idea is going to kill it.
Well, there's people doing live stand-up shows. Like they are happening all over. But I just like... That's not going to feel good to me to like make people on the internet laugh. But like, it'll eventually come back in like a decade.
Do you think it's going to be that long?
I don't know. We have no idea. I'm lucky that I ever got to do it at all.
Yeah. Well,
don't say that, Nikki.
It's true though. It may never come back.
Are you writing new jokes, or are you like? Is this a time where you're like, okay, well, if it ever comes back, or you? Just
I never write jokes unless I'm doing stand up. So like, I am writing jokes. They're all up here, and I like for Bill Maher, I wrote like 100 jokes, and so those will like filter into my act eventually, and like so little things here and there, interviews I do. I'm constantly doing podcasts and my radio show. When we hung out
in New York and talked about this a little bit, I didn't realize how much of a like comedy savant that you are. You really are like just kind of come up with this shit. You're very, very talented that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like autistic in a way. It's like I have a weird skill to just like I think I'm a little bit spectrumy when it comes to like remembering stand up and like filing it away. That means though that as soon as I forget it and it's gone from my head, like I'll never get it back. Like I don't write things down, but I can remember like massive amounts of material. But that's the only kind of way that I'm especially smart. It's smart, but like that's just the only way it works for me. If I did sit down and write, I would be a better comic, but I just don't.
I think you're doing pretty well.
Thanks, Nick.
I think you're doing fine. Nikki, well, thanks for doing this with us. I think
love the haircut. Can we address? Is this the first time you're going to be talking about seeing the haircut and debuting it to your fans?
No. It's on my Instagram, Nikki.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet, but it's so good. And like, I think every guy's going to come out of here just doing like a shorter, and I think it's a good look.
You have to check out my quarantine videos.
I definitely do.
Clearly, I'm paying more attention to you than you're paying attention to me, Nikki.
You're not coming up on my feed. I don't know why.
It's the algorithm, Nick.
Why does the algorithm knows that I like hot dudes? It should know, and that we're friends. I mean, am I really
not popping up on your?
I swear to God, I'm not seeing your new stuff, and it's not for any reason. Maybe you're shadow banned.
What's that?
I don't know. It's like when Instagram makes it so you have less visibility because they like are mad at you. I think it's just like a theory that people have that people get shadow banned. But don't worry, I'll go teach the algorithm. That's what I do when like if you were to watch my stories, like back when your stuff was always popping up for me. If you would watch my story, you would be one of the first names because Instagram knew like you care about Nick Viall watching your stories. And now I'm like it's. And sometimes I'll have to go train it again because I have to go to your profile like a bunch and like be like, hey, Instagram, I like this person. Put them in my feed, like you have to train it. So I'll go do that.
All right.
You'll be showing up on my feed again. I'll catch up on you.
Well, Nikki, I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out Nikki and all of the platforms you can find her Instagram, her Twitter, obviously her podcast. She's very talented. And as soon as things are back to normal, make sure to check her out. And a city near you.
Yeah.
We will see you next week. Tomorrow we have Jason Tardik on as our guest, Caitlin Bristow's loving boyfriend, and we have some fun conversations about how I met Jason, his relationship with Caitlin, all of the above. And then on Monday we'll see you on our Ask Nicks. And
do you ever go like, hey, Caitlin, or hey, Jason, isn't it weird we've both been inside your girlfriend?
Maybe I ask that question, or maybe I don't tomorrow. But tune in to.
I think that would have been a great icebreaker.
Tune in to find out. Not sure for certain who our guest is next week on the Tell-All. It's either going to be Chris Harrison and his loving girlfriend Lauren Zima, or they will be on episode 3. We haven't decided. I told Chris to pick which one would be the best. So maybe next week,
the
Chris
tell-all?
Harrison.
What do you mean the tell-all?
I'm sorry, the Listen to Your Heart. So Chris Harrison and Lauren are going to recap an episode with us. It's either going to be next week or the week after. So we'll let you know. You'll find out. Until next time, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.